going on, everybody? I hope y'all are having a wonderful, wonderful Thursday here in the month of April. We got my guy, KDAWG, next to me. This is the Beyond the Junkyard podcast. How are you doing today, my friend?
Jamie, hell hath no fury like Mother Nature. It went from being 50 degrees to 90, and it's hot. But you know what? We're on fire. We're on fire. It's good to be here, sir. How the hell are you doing?
I'm good. You know what else is hot? The storylines in AEW. Yes, sir. Let's talk about AEW Dynasty. We'll talk about that in our main segment. But first, because I have a feeling that might take some time with as many matches as Tony Khan has added to the show in the last 24 hours. Let's go ahead and
it's been a few.
and first, let's talk about some housekeeping here. The junkyardmediagroup.com website is the one-stop shop for all of your stuff Junkyard Media Group related. We got the audio version of this podcast. We got the audio version of the Meat Slappers podcast. And we have the blog, which, to be honest with you, I don't know if anybody's kept up with that in the last month or so. But hopefully we'll get something new out there for you. That's where you can find the link to the merch site. Has your shirt come in yet? I don't think I've got an email saying it had shipped, so I don't know if they're stuck in production.
Not quite yet.
Gotcha, my friend. Well, that's all right. But anyways, join the Discord, follow us on all of our social media pages. And more importantly, if you're watching us here on YouTube, click that motherfucking subscribe button.
Whoa.
A lot of our viewership haven't subscribed to us yet. We need the subscriptions to go up. Subscribe. If you're going to watch, you might as well subscribe. Hit that notification bell. That way, every time we go live, you know. Every time you post something, you know. So, with that being said, we're going to transition into our segment that we typically put towards the end of the show, but we're jumping into the middle. The beginning this week because of how long previewing Dynasty is going to be. It's Push Bench Fire. Let's get going. This week, I wanted to swap it up a little bit. We've been doing a lot of singles wrestlers. And so we are doing tag teams today. And not just any tag teams. There are some pretty decent tag teams on this list. For Push Bench Fire, we got the Kingdom, Matt Taven and Mike Bennett. We got the Creed brothers. And we got our EVPs, the Young Bucks. I'll let you have the floor and Push Bench Fire, my friend.
This is an interesting one. I had to put some thoughts into this one because there's a couple different directions that I could go with this, but I'm going to come to the conclusion of this. I am going to fire the Kingdom. And the reason is because Mike Bennett is a good wrestler. He's a good talent. Matt Taven is an underrated wrestler that can easily do things on his own. He could be a great singles champion. I think he has more quality being in a singles run than as a tag. So I'm going to go with firing the Kingdom. I'm going to bench the Young Bucks. Call them up when needed, pretty much. They are a good talent, but at the same time, we've seen a lot of them. So let's just chill out on the Young Bucks for a little while. let's go and push the Creed brothers. I think that they're new, they're exciting, have some great talent, and I think that they can be the future of the tag team wrestling, future of tag team wrestling in the wrestling business over the next 5-10 years or so. So yeah, push the Creed brothers, bench the Bucks, and fire the Kingdom.
Alrighty, well, if you were following along on the Discord when I posted this graphic of who we're doing, because I like to get the Discord a little bit of time to share their thoughts before the show.
Likes to get them riled up.
Absolutely. I told him that my answer is going to be a cop-out, and this is why. I have two different answers.
That even allowed?
I make the rules.
You made the rules, we just follow.
If we're going simply based on current day, I'm pushing the Young Bucks, I'm benching the Kingdom, and I'm firing the Creeds. And here's why. The Creeds, they're a young, fresh tag team. I actually think they're probably going to be one of the better tag teams, just several years from now. And if I was looking at this from a perspective of who can draw the most money, if I was a wrestling promoter, who can draw me the most money right now would be the Young Bucks or the Kingdom, and the Creeds get the last spot on the podium, get fired. But if I was looking at this from a perspective of, hold on 1 second here. Maybe we had some technical difficulties on your end. I don't know.
Yes. You froze.
Oh, well, I was still talking. I didn't notice anything.
It's all good.
Anyways, so let me back up a little bit here. I keep you intact here. If I was going just solely based on now, it's the Young Bucks I'm pushing, the Kingdom I'm benching, and the Creeds I'm cutting, I'm firing, because the Young Bucks right now, present day, can make me probably the most money if I was a promoter. But if I were to look at this and say, maybe I'm not so worried about present day, if I want to build for the future, then my answer would be push the Creeds, bench the Young Bucks, and fire the Kingdom, like you said earlier. But yeah, anyways, if we're going just based off current day, I'm pushing the Young Bucks. They're my favorite tag team. They're, in my opinion, the best tag team out. And everybody says FTR maybe, but I think the Young Bucks, just from an overall ability to tell a story, is a little bit better in my opinion. Anything else on this, my friend? I can finally see chat, so let's see what they've been saying. Be careful, or Oklahoma won't allow you on your podcast. I'll talk about Oklahoma here later on in the show, but yeah, let's get going. Actually, that's a good segue, Wavy D. I got a vent for a minute. I was thinking about making this its own separate episode, but I didn't want to spend 45 minutes talking about it. I just got a few things. And you don't have to chime in if you don't want. I don't know if you know the story of why we're talking bad about Oklahoma. But anyways, long story short, Oklahoma, some dickwad in Oklahoma that runs an indie promotion called out AEW because Nyla Rose was on their show, and apparently Oklahoma has a ban on intergender wrestling because Nyla Rose is transgender. born male, they classify that as an intergender wrestling match, and AEW is basically told if Nyla Rose wrestles in Oklahoma again, there will be punitive damages. Basically, we're going to sue you. Tony Khan answered that on the media call today and basically said, we support Nyla Rose. I hope Tony goes petty and books Nyla Rose in a AEW Women's Championship match on an episode of Dynamite, and she wins in the main event just to say, fuck you, Oklahoma. That's my perspective there. To the Oklahoma Athletic Commission, to any athletic commissions, why do you fucking exist? I get why you existed like 30 or 40 years ago because, indie promoters weren't really doing the most safest activities, and they were hiring not real medical teams and cheaping out on things. But it's 2024. Why do athletic commissions exist? I don't understand this. And one, why is this a rule? You're banning intergender wrestling. I mean, I don't know. It's pro wrestling. Would Goldust be considered an intergender wrestling match? Because he was essentially an androgynous character that didn't have a gender. So you're running a slippery slope.
Would love to know.
You're running
the Goldust character of '97 would work in this day and age.
Yeah. You're running a slippery slope. But to the Oklahoma Athletic Committee, fuck you. All right, let's talk about
Boomer Sooner, that's right. Boomer Sooner.
Boomer Sooner. I'm gonna get Jim Ross on you and beat you like a $2 steak.
Beat you like a government mule.
Let's talk AEW Dynasty. Like I said, coming this Sunday live from the Chavitz Arena in Randy Orton's hometown of St. Louis, Missouri. Maybe if he didn't resign, I would say maybe he makes a surprise, but he ain't showing up there. And I think this might be, on paper, AEW's best pay-per-view card to date over the last 5 years.
Until next month at Double or Nothing.
Until Double or Nothing. That's the thing with AEW is people can talk shit all they want about the product, but they put on some banger pay-per-views with really good cards. Now if they can just take Chris Jericho off the show for a little bit, maybe our ratings wouldn't maybe the 9 o'clock time slot wouldn't tank for the first time in a while. Anyways, let's get going. This match card that I have isn't updated, but we'll start with the matches that are going to be on 0 Hour. 2 of them were announced today. We got Trent Beretta. He is going up against Matt Sydal on the 0 Hour. Are you writing these down? Are we keeping track like we did with Revolution? Or
we absolutely can't keep track of them because an absolutely fantastic job at.
He went undefeated. You went undefeated at Revolution.
If only sports betting was legal. We were 8 days away from sports betting being legal in North Carolina. I would have won $1 million that night.
Absolutely. Mr. Clodfelter, how are you doing in the chat? He says AEW pay-per-views are stellar. AEW in general is stellar. Anyways, while we're talking, let's talk about this match. Trent versus Sydal. It just kind of seems kind of weird. Was Sydal one of the ones that Trent beat the shit out of on Dynamite yesterday?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. Well, anyways, heel Trent wins, I think. He's going to push a very decent heel run. But Trent, let me implore to you, son. Your mama is not happy with you acting like a douche canoe on Wednesday nights. So you need to repent and turn your life back to Jesus. Be good Christian boys like the Young Bucks.
Who's mad at you there, Trenty?
DJ Wavy D says, mark down my predictions too. Let's see how that AEW casual does. He got Trent.
Well,
Right?
WWE Casual did not do the best for WrestleMania, so
yeah, no, I sucked. He has Trent. I have Trent. Who do you have?
Trent as well. I think that's a
Trent,
clean sweep right there.
Clean sweep there. The second match that Tony Khan has added this morning, I believe it was, is Orange Cassidy and Kazuchika Shibata fighting Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty of the Shane Taylor promotion team. I have Shane Taylor Promotions winning this match. I would like to think that this probably starts the kickoff show. Jason has Trent too, by the way. Sorry, I missed his earlier comment. So if you want to write his stuff down too, you can. But yeah, I have Shane Taylor Promotions winning.
Holy crap.
I think this match was the first match on the pre-show, and Trent will interfere with Orange Cassidy leading into his match. So I got Shane Taylor Promotions picking up an interference-style win. Who do you have, my friend?
You got the heel winning in Trent, and you're gonna have Orange Cassidy and Shibata for the faces.
All right, we got our comments here. Jason is taking Shane Taylor Promotions. Wavy D is getting Cassidy and Shibata. I think he's you're more on his side, the casual side, my friend, going with the same picks back to back as Wavy D. That's kind of interesting. One more match though on the pre-show. I don't know how they're going to fit 3 matches on an hour's pre-show, but here we go. We have a winner takes all AEW Trios Championship match. Tony Khan did clarify on the media call earlier that this essentially, I believe, is the unification of the belts. So there will only, he said they're going to be the undisputed Trios champions, which thank God we don't need 2 Trios belts in this company. But we have Bullet Club Gold, Jay White, Bang Bang, and the Guns against the acclaimed Max Caster, Anthony Bowens, and the original daddy, Billy Gunn. I don't know where to go with this. We got a preview of Juice Robinson in one of their promos a month or so ago. So he might come back. But I'm going with the Acclaimed to win this match.
Just as a preface, who did Jason and Wavy D have for Shibata and OC versus STP?
Absolutely. I'll show you again. Jason had STP winning.
Okay.
And Wavy D had Cassidy and Shibata. Shinbata. It's
okay.
All right.
You have the Acclaimed in this match. I think this is going to be a very good match, but the Bang Bang Gang is going to be the old undisputed unificated 6-man champion defeating the Acclaimed.
Jason says he has Bullet Club Bronze, a.k.a. Bullet Club Gold winning. And then Wavy D says this is actually a good tag team name for him, the Guns and Blades Connection. This will be the second straight pay-per-view, I believe, that Jay White has been on 0 Hour and not on the main card.
Yes,
so
unfortunately. This is where Jericho and Hook should have been, but whatever.
Absolutely. To be honest, they should have been not on the card, but
well.
But
they had this whole thing and then breaking up within 4 weeks of each other,
right?
Pretty much. And I think it's because just it's not working.
It ain't working. And what needs to happen is Hook needs to beat the ever living shit out of Chris Jericho. I guess we'll just talk about this match now since we're transitioning into it. I hope this starts the show because I really don't want it.
No, God, no. Let this be the second match on the card. Let's not get this. Let's not start off on the wrong foot.
You're fair. That's fair. Let this be the match where, like after Ospreay's match, where nobody cares about the next match. let's start about Jericho and Hook. I want Hook to win. I hope Hook beats Chris Jericho within a blink of his death, and he can take 6 months to recover and then reinvent himself, because he's really overstayed his welcome on this run. And we said it several episodes ago that I feel like Chris Jericho is honestly not really needed anymore in AEW. And if he could just he could have a backstage presence, a backstage role, he still could be useful to AEW, but he doesn't need to take main card pay-per-view spots with the roster that we currently have. So give me Hook.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Hook as well. It just needs to go away for a while and end this program. Wins, gets a good win under his belt, and retains whatever is relevant of the FTW title.
Is this for the title? Like, they made that official, it's for the belt? All right, yeah. Hook.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did.
Mr. Clodfelter says he's going with Jericho. And Wavy D as well. He's taking Chris Jericho to win through some underhanded tactics. Excuse me. All righty, let's move on in here to an actually pretty decent match, I think. That's going to be the team of the Rated R Chicken Hawks, Adam Copeland, Mark Briscoe, Eddie Kingston against the House of Black, Buddy Murphy. Buddy Matthews. Sorry, still think he's in WWE for a minute. That's where he's going after this show. But anyways, Buddy Matthews, Malachi Black, Brody King. I'm conflicted on this one, but I think I'm going to have to go with the House of Black to win this one. And hopefully we get a continuation of Malachi Black versus Adam Copeland as the next TNT storyline. So give me the House of Black on this one.
Their tagline, "The House Always Wins," serves a purpose here. There's a reason why this is a 6-man tag, and it didn't lead to Malachi versus Adam for the TNT title yet. This gives the House of Black a pay-per-view victory, and it builds up for Copeland versus Malachi Double or Nothing in May. House of Black wins.
Alrighty. Well, let's real quick though. What are your thoughts on? A rumor came out that Buddy Matthews is that his contract's actually over. He's just kind of working a handshake deal through this pay-per-view. Is he leaving after this? Does it matter? I think Malachi obviously is going to probably take the pin, or get the victory, like be the one pinning Copeland or whoever. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on Buddy Matthews as I get these results shown to you?
I mean, Buddy Matthews is a very good talent. I think the problem is that he has no tattoos, so he's out of place. But I don't know, man. I don't think the grass is greener if he goes.
He has to go get revenge for mommy being hurt. So,
I mean, that's not a bad point. I just don't think that there's much of a for him going over there. Maybe he goes to NA or MLW. I don't know. I think he's in a good area. It's just, I mean, I love Buddy Matthews. Don't get me wrong. I just don't know.
I personally think he's going to resign. I personally think he's going to resign with AEW. But
yeah,
because I mean, let's just be honest. He's worked from what the reporting has said. He's basically worked the entire month of April on a handshake deal. I wouldn't do that unless there were discussions being talked to bring you back full term. Like, he might take some time off, but I don't. I see him saying in AEW, the House of Black storyline is really good.
Now, I will say that was it Tony Khan? Was it? Oh, I don't know why I remember this, but it was an interview that happened a few days ago, and maybe Adam Copeland. It was somebody that was talking about the card for the show, saying it was one of the best cards AEW's ever put on, and to expect a bunch of surprises on the show Sunday. Yeah, that was them. Maybe Buddy and Tony don't come to an agreement. Buddy leaves, and he takes the pin on his way out. But the House of Black gets a new member. Don't know who. I really don't even know how to speculate on who that could be. But that may be a good surprise. That out goes Buddy, in comes somebody else, and they continue the House of Black just under a newer member. I don't know, but possibly. I could see that happening too.
Yeah, I could see that taking place. We got a full 4-man sweep here on House of Black. So if they lose, we all lose. The house always loses. Let's continue going here. We have a singles match for the AEW International Championship that was announced this past Saturday on Collision between Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, 2 former tag team members of the Undisputed Era, going one-on-one. And I am going to pick, and I'm going with the heels a whole lot here to start these picks, but I'm going to have to continue that trend, and I'm going to pick Roderick Strong to take the win and continue his reign as international champion. What say you?
O'Reilly. It's gonna lose. Ow. Yeah. Roddy, I don't know if he's defended his title but once. Maybe, yeah. There you go. Do that and then plug the NFL draft afterwards after you get the me cussing up the storm. Which 1 week from tonight, about this time frame, is when the Commanders will probably have their pick in, because the Bears are going to take all 10 minutes for Caleb Williams. They're going to go to commercial break. They're going to do some interviews with the guy that the Bears drafted, Caleb Williams. They're going to show the War Room in Washington, probably go to another commercial, and by that point, we're going to be about 9:15, 9:30, and the Commanders will finally make their pick. Roderick Strong. I don't think it's the right time for him to lose. Although I wish they would have pushed this match out a little bit longer, maybe double or nothing. But I think Roddy's going to win.
We got a Claude Felter response of Roderick Strong and no response from our casual in the comments, our DJ Levy D. So when that pops in, there he is. There he is. Roderick Strong says, but the rivalry will continue and Adam Cole will return in Long Island. He's booking this out for us. All right.
Is that for the...
That is for the
pay-per-view? There's a pay-per-view in Long Island, right? Yeah, Forbidden Door.
Forbidden Door is in Long Island, yeah.
That's in June, so interesting.
I could see that. They're doing a bunch of New York shows also in that time slot too, so could be. All right, so we got 4 Pete on Roderick Strong as well. If he loses, we all lose. I like Roderick Strong. I think he was the most undervalued member of Undisputed Era. Adam Cole took all the spotlight in that piece of shit. No, and I'm just kidding. I love you. I love you. Bring your wife back to work, Adam Cole.
Yeah, where has she been?
Posting glamour shots on Twitter. So, speaking of Adam Cole, with him saying that he's returning at Long Island, I gotta plug it. Fightful, I'm part of Fightful Select on Patreon. Best $5 in the industry. Go support Sean Ross Sapp. and they put out a subscriber-only thing that said Adam Cole's not going to be on TV for some time because him doing all of those promos and things have slowed down his progression, and they really don't have a timetable for his return. Yeah.
How prolong his time? He wasn't on his feet. He was in a wheelchair.
It slowed down his rehab, I guess, because I guess he couldn't rehab his foot. I don't know. That's what it said.
Sorry, being cross-legged doing into a book is prolonging your rehab. Sorry. That's like,
yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. So he might be off TV for some time, and there's really no timetable for him to return. It could be for Forbidden Door in June. Who knows? I think we'll see somebody else return at Forbidden Door, but it won't be Adam Cole. He's loosely connected to Adam Cole, but
Brody Lee?
Yeah. Anyways, let's go to our next match. The House Rules match for the AEW TBS Championship between Julia Hart, as seen on my shirt here in X-ray form, and Willow Nightingale. It's House Rules. House always wins, they say, but not this time. It's time for Willow Nightingale to get the TBS Championship, and she is the winner. Give me Willow Nightingale.
Yeah, I think that Julia's had a decent reign as a TBS champion. Kind of had a lull there for a little bit, but obviously I think we're setting up Mercedes versus Willow at Double or Nothing, and for the TBS title, might as well go all out by putting some stakes with it. TBS title on the line, and Willow Nightingale gets the victory and becomes a new TBS champion Sunday night. My wife is not happy with that.
Yeah, well, so here's the thing. I like the storyline with Willow versus Mercedes at for the belt, because Willow took Mercedes' belt when she injured her, so she'll just come back and take Willow's belt. The question is, speaking of Mercedes Moné, who is the lady who attacked her, who attacked Willow? There's some speculation that it could have been Chris Statlander doing the interference. Some people say it's Julia Hart. It's too obvious. I have my own opinion. I believe that we're bringing back Britt Baker, and she's the one doing the attacking. But what say you, my friend?
I think that's a good speculation. I think the Chris Statlander one makes more sense at this point. But I think that I think it's setting up a return for
That's an inside joke.
I don't think the man knows that we're on YouTube, so yeah, that's funny though. Yeah, I think that it would be a better idea to bring back Britt in this type of situation. Be a good way to get her on TV. I think we do get some sort of interference or even a return or something like that on Sunday. Could be Statlander. Maybe she costs Will the title. But I don't see that happening, especially if the feud is between her and Moné. That's going to be leading into this whole match at Double or Nothing, I believe. But yeah, I think it's it's either Britt or Jamie Hayter. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think it. I don't know. It's tough because it could be Chris too. There's been this whole little rift between Statlander and Willow over the past couple of weeks there.
And when Trent whispered something in Chris Statlander's ear,
yeah.
we haven't got the payoff on what that was, what was said. So I could see it from that angle. And Trent's going full heel, so maybe Statlander can go full heel.
Joins him, yeah.
But I like the idea of bringing back Britt Baker or Jamie Hayter and setting up something bigger for like maybe not a Double or Nothing, but an All In or something like that. Let's go to the next match. This one, there's so many matches on the back end of this card that you could say might be match of the night. This is one of them. We have a singles match for the AEW Continental Championship between Pac and the champion, part of the Elite, the greatest trio of all time, Kazuchika Okada.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this is going to be the show opener.
You think this one will open? That would make a lot of sense.
I think that would be a fantastic way to do it. Hook and Jericho second, maybe to the FTW title third, international title fourth, six-man tag fifth, TBS title sixth. We'll go down the list, but yeah, I think this opens the show.
Well, I think Kazuchika Okada retains his belt over Pac. Though I think what we may see here is the return of Rey Fenix in this match, and we set up a trios feud in the future between the, what was their team called? Death Triangle.
Death Triangle.
And the Elite, maybe for Double or Nothing, or for just a small little match on a Dynamite or a Collision leading after this show on Sunday. But I am going Okada to win. What say you?
Yeah, I think this is going to be a great match. I think this is going to be a wild match from start to finish, and I think that if we get a Rey Fenix return, it would make sense. But maybe wait a little bit for that. I don't know. Yeah, I think Okada gets the win here. Keeps the title.
So to answer Wavy D's question, the trios match is on Collision. It's Okada and the Bucks versus FTR and Pac or Penta, one of the two.
Yeah.
So that's what the trios match is before the show. This match is for the title, Okada versus Pac. They both go Okada, Jason and Wavy D. He says Okada needs the push to match his contract. I guess so. Get that big money. Kazuchika Okada. Alrighty, we move.
Ferrari.
And get that new Ferrari. You got to get one in EVP
Every
color.
state.
Yeah. The next match, speaking of the Elite, we have the tournament final for the vacant AEW World Tag Team Championships in a ladder match between Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, the Young Bucks, the greatest EVPs in all of pro wrestling, against Dax and Cash, FTR. This is the fourth match in their AEW lineage. I believe FTR is up 2-1. So in that light, I'm going, and with this being a ladder match, let me just put this out here. There's a lot of speculation that whoever is losing this match did not want to take a pin. And that's why they made it a ladder match. So my question before I pick my winner is, do we get the infamous scapegoat to show up in St. Louis during this match to help the Young Bucks win?
I can see that from the perspective of the fact that this is now the fourth match in this rivalry, that if Jack Perry wins, it's going to throw FTR off their game, and it's going to cause the Young Bucks to win the match, and that creates kind of the penultimate fifth match. I don't want to say a double or nothing, but down the road between the FTR and the Young Bucks, the best of five, basically.
All in again.
Yeah, golly. I mean, maybe. I don't know. But I think it sets up maybe a fifth and final match of the rivalry series down the road. So yeah, that would be a really good way to do that and kind of do the reversal of what happened with Bucks at All In, even though that was more of a real life thing than a storyline thing. It's going to be flip-flopped in, kind of put real life imitating art imitating life. And yeah, Eric comes out, maybe distracts the FTR enough for the Young Bucks to grab the goal and become the first 3-time AEW World Tag Team Champions.
So regardless, one way or the other, I think the Young Bucks win this match. I do personally think Jack Perry is coming back on Sunday. He's going to make his return and get booed out of that arena, which is exactly what AEW wants. So don't be like, oh, he's getting booed. No, that's exactly the reaction he wants. He has 3 different designs on his website for T-shirts, and I believe they have to keep restocking them like every 3 days because they just keep selling out. So to Eric Bischoff and to everyone that says that this wasn't going to make Jack Perry,
suck an egg.
You can do what John Moxley said last night and kiss my ass and watch me. I can't
wait for the tweet from Tony Khan when Rampage has more episodes than WCW Thunder in a couple months, and then when Dynamite has more episodes than Nitro. I'm a WCW guy saying this, but those are gonna be some fun tweets. I can't wait for those.
Yeah, I can't wait for Eric Bischoff to
own the same network that both of those shows are on.
To cry himself a river on his show with Conrad. Well, it's a different time.
It's a different era. WCW did so much better business. We did way better things than AEW. Hey, Eric, whatever you say.
Eric, I saw this the other week, and we'll make picks here in a second on this match. But Eric Bischoff paid Disco Inferno like close to $1 million over his entire career in WCW. Like, what the fuck are you doing, Eric? Disco Inferno?
Listen, the gimmick of the whole actual Disco Fever thing and the theme song, it was fun for a bit. And then we decided to change Disco Inferno to Disco and put it instead of DISCO to DISQO and put him in jorts and a football jersey and the Filthy Animals and let him kind of do a Conan rap of yo, let me speak on this in the most white boy fashion possible. Yeah.
Anyways. Oh, give me good grief.
I know. I got you choked up. That's what everybody else was doing.
Give me the Young Bucks. What do you say?
Yeah, I think Bucks win somehow, some way. I want FTR to win selfishly as a fan, but I think this is just playing into the fact of this is the evil VPs getting their way. Hell, even maybe Okada kind of interferes in the match and helps FTR win, or not FTR, Young Bucks win. I think that pretty much makes sense. Have the Elite have gold on them. Bucks lost last pay-per-view in Sting's retirement match. Can't believe that it's been a month and a half since then, but I think it serves purpose for them to be okay with winning this match.
Absolutely. Now we're down to 3 matches left on this card. And this next one, we'll do the non-championship match first. This is going to be match of the night, I think. The greatest of all time, the best technical wrestler in the world, Bryan Danielson, against the best wrestler of the modern era, the aerial assassin. He is the feeling bruv, Will Ospreay, which, quick aside, if you have not watched Will Ospreay on Hey Ooh from last Sunday with RJ City.
Very funny episode.
Check it out. He calls his mom, and
good.
She didn't pick up. She left him on voicemail. So, come on,
because
Mother Ospreay.
Because he headbutted a billy goat in real life.
He headbutted a billy goat. Good story there. Made me laugh. Good. RJ City is it's a good way to start your Sunday mornings. But anyways, who do you have winning this match between Ospreay and Danielson?
I'm not sure if this will be match of the night or if Pac and Okada will be match of the night, or hell, even FTR and the Bucks could be match of the night. Just an absolutely stacked card, pretty much from top to bottom. There's a couple different things that are going to be match of the night. This is still going to be just an absolutely amazing match. This is what really is going to, as much of the New Japan stuff that Will did in New Japan, this match is going to put him on the map more so than anything else in the world, because this is going to be a match that a lot of people want to see him fail because of how good he is. And I think this is going to be the perfect match to kind of see how can he adjust and change up his wrestling style. Obviously, he's the aerial assassin, the high-flying stuff. He's physical as well. He can brawl. He can do his high-flying stuff. But Danielson's going to be doing the mat game, the ground and pound. I could definitely see Danielson either doing, sitting down cross-legged in the ring. I can see Danielson saying, nope, I'm going to start on the knees. We're going to do this like amateur wrestling style, Greco-Roman type of stuff. Like I can see a cat and mouse game between Danielson and Ospreay throughout this entire match. Ospreay's going to use a little bit of that high-flying stuff. Danielson still has a little bit of that left in him too. So I expect to see that a little bit. But I'm so eager to see for Will Ospreay to maybe put the rest of the critics to shut him up by showing that he can be versatile in his wrestling technique repertoire, if you want to say that. He's a brawler. It's a high same time. He can also do the chain grappling stuff, mat wrestling stuff, and just bring, pun and no pun intended, elevate his game to another level. I think it's going to be a phenomenal match. Danielson, 3 years ago, I think Danielson will probably win this time in this era. He's on the back leg of his career, and this is going to be a statement win and a huge win under the belt. So give me Will by God Ospreay.
So I think they're telling a story here that's actually pretty interesting, because the last several weeks we've seen the Don Callis family get involved in Blackpool Combat Gang, whatever their team is, Blackpool Combat Club business. And then you saw on Dynamite yesterday that they attacked Claudio after the match, and Ospreay was a little pissed off.
Yeah, he wasn't a fan of that.
I think they have some form of interference or try to interfere in this match, and we could see like a full disassociation from the Don Callis family with Ospreay. I think he's going to win, but I wonder, is this going to tell a story of now the Blackpool or the Don Callis family will go after the Blackpool Combat Club and they start a feud, or will they then turn on on their former ally in Will Ospreay? Because we've basically seen Ospreay run the ship on the Don Callis family and win every match against every member that they've thrown at him. Fletcher, Takeshita. We saw that match at Revolution. Probably still match of the year.
Easily still match of the year. Yes.
And then he fought Willie Hobbs, I think, Powerhouse, on an episode of Dynamite or Collision, and
fought Fletcher as well.
Mm-hmm. And so I like that they're building towards something. In terms of this match, give me Will Ospreay.
This kind of has no bearing onto the group because none of them are from the area. But what if if Danielson and Ospreay bleed, or if Ospreay bleeds, that after the match, they're trying to do a beatdown on Danielson and Ospreay's not up for it, and then they basically turn on him, and BCC comes out to help Ospreay, they extend the invitation to let Will Ospreay join the Blackpool Combat Club.
It makes sense because they need that British guy on the team because obviously it's called
I don't know
Blackpool
where the
Combat
hell it has been.
Club. Who, Wheeler Yuta? Yeah, I don't know if
Yeah.
he's injured or what, but he's like vanished. But yeah, I think that would be interesting. But yeah, that's a good point. I don't know how they would work that in. Maybe Danielson respects Ospreay after the match, and
I can honestly see a little bit of a double turn. I could see Yuta, if he's not injured and he's just not been on TV, be like, "Hey guys, what the hell? Like, why have I been kind of shunned out of this?"
Right, I'm the
They
young guy
switch
on
sides.
TV now. Right, but see, I also can see the Don Callis family not really interfering with Ospreay because my thinking on this would be they would want to get Takeshita versus Moxley for the IWGP title.
That's fair, but I mean, it would still make sense.
Right. They can
Will
play
gets
with
thrown out of the BCC or the Callis family, and it still creates a feud between the Callis family and
right.
BCC.
That's fair. We shall see, I guess. We shall see.
Could set up a blood and guts match too.
Absolutely. Are they doing blood and guts this year?
I would imagine they are in some capacity. They usually take a long time to announce that kind of stuff, and usually it's in May or June. So I think they need to find that arena that could do it. Maybe one of the Canada shows. They could do that there.
The Buffalo show in June.
Buffalo show. I know they're doing it at the KeyBank Center where the Sabres play, so that's a big arena. They're doing where the Jets play in Winnipeg. They're doing Scotiabank in Calgary. Rogers Place in Edmonton. Any one of those, I think, would be fine. Those are arena big enough because you're going to obviously have the cages and the two rings. So, but I don't know. It could be Buffalo. I think they're going to try to do it. I think maybe one of the Canada that may be struggling a little bit with the ticket sales, but I don't know. But I think we're going to get that in here in the next couple months.
Alrighty, let's go now to what I think may be the co-main event between Timeless Toni Storm and Thunder Rosa for the AEW World Women's Championship. And let me tell you this, I can't wait for this match. I love Timeless Toni Storm. I think that the story that they're going to tell with Toni Storm is going to be absolutely cinema. But I love Thunder Rosa. And she didn't lose that belt. She was forced to vacate it. And so for that reason, because I think the storyline isn't necessarily needing of the championship, I think Mariah May will cost Toni Storm the title here to Dynasty. We give Thunder Rosa the championship. That can then lead to Double or Nothing, where I think we can get Thunder Rosa versus Deonna Purrazzo. And then the storyline that we get with Mariah May and Toni Storm leading up to Double or Nothing and Forbidden Door and All In is Toni is jealous of Mariah because she seems focused more on Mina Shirakawa. I think that sets up a Toni Storm Mina Shirakawa match at Forbidden Door, which then sets up a Mariah May versus Toni Storm match at All In Wembley. And we don't need the championship for that. We can tell that separately outside of the championship picture. But I like Thunder Rosa to win this match. And I know you love Thunder Rosa, so.
No. Do not like Thunder Rosa. I just don't see the purpose. I mean, I get the should have lost her title. I totally get that. I don't see the purpose in her losing it right now. I think the turn would be a little too soon, especially because Mariah has been getting in the good graces of Tony here lately. Hell, they've shared a couple kisses. So, I mean, they're building a connection and a bond.
So has Mariah and Mina.
Yeah, but Mina has been on TV since, right?
They've been kissing way back before they were in AEW. Mariah and Mina.
Slow build. One of that does not equal into the animosity from the turn yet. I think that turn happened at All In. It's going to be Jamie Hayter and Toni Storm for the women's world title, which means that Toni Storm will retain on Sunday. I don't think the Thunder Rosa is going to win. It could actually either lead up to either Mariah interfering, Deanna interfering, and then costing Rhodes the match. I think, honestly, maybe we can get the Statlander return or Statlander turn the TBS title match after the match. Maybe. I don't know. That whole thing kind of murkies everything up because Statlander is teasing this turn on Willow, yet we know Mercedes is fighting the TBS champion at Double or Nothing. Maybe they don't go with Willow. Maybe they go with Julia versus Monet at Double or Nothing, and it leads to a match down the road with Willow and Mercedes, but we get Chris and Willow fighting and feuding. With beauty that we're finally getting these different kind of stories with the women's division. It's opening things up booking-wise. It's what we've been wanting for years, and that's what's exciting about it is that you've got Chris and Willow, Monet, Julia, Sky Blue's in the mix with that.
Anna Jay's been
Tony,
on the show.
Yeah. Anna Jay's been struggling a little bit with her turmoil of trying to find, kind of a partner in crime. Maybe that means Tay Mello is going to be coming back soon. Obviously, Tony and Mariah and Thunder, Deanna. I think maybe we can get Britt Baker back after this match. I think maybe Tony wins and it sets up and creates a opportunity for Britt to come back here. Maybe. I don't know. I think it still might be, if you're going to lead up to Tony versus Jamie Hayter and All In, we're still 3.5, 4 months away from that. I don't think you could really bring her back now because that build would be too soon.
The only problem I have with long story booking Tony versus Jamie Hayter is the fact that there hasn't been any rumors of Jamie Hayter even being close to return.
That's a good thing. Keeping it close to the best, not really exposing that, but it's one of those, we'll see. We'll see kind of what happens there. And Britt hasn't been injured, and there's been no timetable as to when she's coming back either. So maybe it's just one of those playing the cards close to the vest type of thing. But some different stories going on within the women's division, which is awesome. And whenever the additions of Britt and Jamie come back, it's only going to expand this women's division in general. So we're getting there. We're getting there, and it's doing well.
Absolutely, and I love the addition of the occasional Stardom talent being able to interact in that relationship there, because I honestly think we won't see Anna Jay for quite some time. I think her departure to Stardom will be happening pretty soon, it's my understanding, and but we shall see. So we got you with Toni Storm, me with Thunder Rosa, Jason got Toni Storm, and Wavy D got Thunder Rosa, my guy. That's right. Thunder Rosa gets the dub. And that leads us to the main event. The singles match for the AEW World Championship between Swerve.
You gotta say it like Justin Roberts. The AEW. Just kidding.
If I did that, I would die. Between Swerve Strickland with Prince Nana in his corner. Is that how Joe said it? Nana. And
Mr. Nana.
and the AEW World Champion, the real Tribal Chief, Samoa Joe. This, oh my goodness, this is going to be a brawl, but also I think a really good match. And it's hard for me to think on who's going to win this match. There's so many ways that they could play this. But the AEW has in the past made mistakes on who should win the title at what point. This has to be the point where Swerve Strickland wins the belt. I'm going Swerve because the crowd is going to be hot for Swerve. The last time I remember, was in Chicago for, was it maybe All Out or whatever, when Swerve in Your Glory were the tag team champions and the Acclaimed were hot, and the Acclaimed lost, and there was a lot of animosity for that booking style. And then when the Acclaimed finally won at Arthur Ashe Stadium, the pop was nice, but it would have. And I've made this remark several times in regards to when Roman Reigns had the belt on WWE side. There's just moments where you can create the next big wrestler. And this is Swerve's moment. I think right now would be the greatest time to move Swerve Strickland into the position of champion. And everybody says, well, Hangman's going to interfere. I think Hangman shows up, but not until after Swerve wins. He'll show up, beat the living hell out of Swerve as champion, and that'll set up a double or nothing match between Swerve and Hangman Page. But give me Swerve Strickland to win this match.
I'm torn. I love Swerve. I think that he is destined to be an AEW World Champion soon. I don't want to say it's too soon because this push has been kind of going on since really September, October. The only thing that I can really put as a rebuttal is 4 months from now will be, or not 4 months, 6 months from now, we'll be in Tacoma, Washington at the famous Tacoma Dome for Wrestle Dream, pretty close to Swerve's hometown. And maybe a couple Seattle boys between Bryan Danielson, Darby maybe, and Swerve. If not all three, but maybe that's where the crowning achievement happens, is in the home state, close to the hometown of Swerve in Tacoma at Wrestle Dream. That's 6 months away. And if you don't pull the trigger here, I don't think you kill it. I don't think you kill his push, but where would he go for 6 months until we maybe get that crowning achievement? That's my.
Well, the problem with booking him to win it at Wrestle Dream in Tacoma is I think that show's built specifically in the way that Revolution was built around Sting's retirement match, that Wrestle Dream is going to be built around Bryan Danielson's retirement match. It's in his hometown of Tacoma. And so,
which makes sense, and I think the Tacoma Dome has, I don't know if it has a bigger capacity than Climate Pledge Arena. Maybe, I'm not 100% sure. But that would definitely make sense for sure. I want Swerve to win. I just want it to be the right time. And I still think if Joe loses here, I still think it kind of leads him as a transition champion, and I don't like that because Joe doesn't deserve that. But Joe wins, he can still have plenty of different things going on for 6 months. It's just the flip side of that. What do you do with Swerve for 6 months? Mm-hmm. And that, I think, would more so hurt his push and hurt him to fall down the totem pole and then kind of go back up. And this is not the same token as a Cody Rhodes type of thing, where Cody needed to go through 15 million different things and obstacles to finally overcome the champion. Swerve has gone through a crap ton over the last 6 months. So it's a tough one. This is probably the toughest match to call because, like I said, transition champions Joe. Do you wait for the push for Swerve? It's a tough call. I'm glad I don't have the pencil in my hand because I think it's going to be one of those tough decisions. But in the end, I do think that this Sunday night at the Chaffetz Arena in St. Louis, Missouri, gateway to the West, that it does become Swerve's house. And we do crown a new AEW World Champion Sunday night, and Swerve Strickland becomes the AEW World Champion.
Absolutely phenomenal if that would happen. Here's my take on it is I agree with you that Joe could have such a elongated, powerful title run. But the damage that it does to Swerve is it really ruins it lowers the push because he's not going to go for just any other title. It wouldn't have the significance. And then if you just put him at the back of the line and he has to work his way back up to get some hometown moment, the push, the pop is going to be so much less. And this is going to be something that a lot of people disagree with, I assume. But there are just times when you have to listen to the crowd. And I know you have to make sure it's the best thing for business and the best thing for booking. But sometimes the best thing for business is listening to the fans. And the fans want Swerve to be champion. I honestly could see Samoa Joe, let's say he loses his match, and he could go after any ROH champion, any AEW, I don't want to call him mid-card because they don't really say mid-card, any lesser AEW championship, or he could just be the quote-unquote, to steal a quote from Mr. Rocky Johnson, the final boss, and just, be that dominant heel guy who doesn't necessarily need a championship. There's so many more things that you can do with Joe with the belt not on him. My question to you, though, is I know the assumption is MJF is probably going to return at Forbidden Door. But could he play some form of interference with Samoa Joe with the idea that Joe worked with the Undisputed Kingdom? And Adam Cole's not quite ready yet, so we can't get MJF versus Adam Cole. Maybe MJF plays mind games with Samoa Joe to help Swerve win the belt, and MJF, if he can't have the belt, Joe can't have the belt, kind of thing.
I think we kind of had that preface maybe last month with Revolution that maybe that could happen, and now that we're past WrestleMania season, the MJF to WWE rumors are done. There's been rumor speculation that MJF had a meeting with the AEW officials in a big business and it didn't go well. I think that's rumor speculation. I think that MJF is just playing kayfabe so very well and has his whole career that he does it better than anybody. And he could post Saturday night, guys, I have some really big news to share that I am not returning to AEW and just playing everybody like a fiddle. And then we get him on the screen Sunday night and Joe freaks out and that causes a win. I could definitely see that. And maybe that'll be the first feud for MJF back to kind of hold off on the Adam Cole thing, him versus Joe, because he did lose the title to Joe. I could see that happening at Double or Nothing as a payback type of match. Maybe a steel cage match, maybe I don't want to say a Texas death match or a Vegas death match or nothing like that, but I think that would be a great way to get MJF back. Put him with Joe while Adam Cole's still healing, because that's the ultimate goal, is to go back for Adam Cole and maybe the AEW World Title as a whole. But I think for sure it's got to be, I got to run through the Undisputed Kingdom. I got to run through Joe while we're waiting for Cole to heal up. I'm gonna go through Joe first, and then start picking my way through the Undisputed Kingdom. That would be a really good way to set that feud up. With Jason's comment with the Hangman thing, I think if they go back again with another Hangman match, the only and the final match in that feud is going to have to be for the world title. You can't do another singles match with. To me, I just don't think you can do it, because
there's no other there's no other stakes to make the match mean anything. So
that's
I agree.
The ultimate stake match. Yeah.
If they go Swerve Hangman, it'd be the third match in the feud.
That'll be the fourth match, but maybe
third or fourth.
They've done a few. No, it would be the fourth. It would be the fourth. They had on Dynamite back in whatever, Full Gear, another match for the number one contendership at Dynamite. However, that was a draw, so I think it's 1-1-1. So this could still be the rubber match between them.
Right. Yeah, but it would have to be for the belt. There's no other stakes. Hangman's already drinking Swerve's blood. There's not much more that you can do other than put a championship on the line. So, so that's the main event. And let me preface this. We still got 2 more shows before Sunday. We got Rampage tomorrow night. We got Collision on Saturday. Tony Khan could add like 7 more matches to this card. This card is not set in stone.
Unfortunately.
If any other matches get added, you'll see us on the social media pages kind of share our takes on those. Speaking of that, go to junkyardmediagroup.com. Click the links there for our Facebook page, our Twitter/X page. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed and you've stayed this long, you need help. Click the red button that says subscribe. Click the bell icon. Set it up that you are notified every time we go live or post a video. We're here at the end of April with Dynasty. It's going to be a good show. I'm just excited. We don't have to use Bleacher Report. We can go through Triller or YouTube to get the pay-per-view. And it's going to be a very good Sunday. Do you have any final words before we log off for the night?
I think that I am good to go. Depending on maybe some of the outcomes for Dynasty and possibly what can happen on Dynamite next Wednesday, that I don't know if we'll have a quick little recap show or if we'll do anything with that, but I definitely think that next Thursday night is going to be a fun night for our live stream for the NFL draft, so please tune in for that. And
we're going to have a lot of Junkyard apple cider.
That's going to be a fun night. I need to load up on a 6-pack of Junkyard apple cider so I can celebrate or kill myself with alcohol 1 to 2. Yeah, that'll be fun. There's a giveaway that's going to happen. I got some fun prizes that I want to give away to you fellow fine folks, but you got to do us the favors of following us on the social media channels. Subscribe to the damn YouTube page, because if you want to be in participation for these contests, for these giveaways, you got to show love. You got to show us some love. And for us to show love to you by giving you prizes, show love to us by subscribing to our pages. Also, for those that live in North Carolina like you and me, AEW is on DraftKings, so you can legally bet on AEW for Dynasty. They have a pool already up for Dynasty. I am going to put $500 into this whole thing, and I'm going to win $1 million. Just kidding. That's not going to happen. But I will be betting a little bit on Dynasty, and that's going to be fun. So, yes. That's all I got.
Absolutely. Like he said, programming alert. next week, there will be no Beyond the Junkyard podcast. We are getting the Calling Audible boys back together for one night only for the NFL draft, just because it was so much fun to do that last year and to get some of the reactions that we got. So no wrestling next Thursday. But we've talked a little bit about this behind the off screen, beyond the curtain, we shall say, to reference your old podcast. There you go.
Shameless plug for a non-existent podcast. Thank you.
Right. But it still has a t-shirt up on Pro Wrestling.
Yeah, it does.
We are thinking about adding additional content to this page. More information will come pretty soon, but you got to subscribe to see it. And we want to, build a community of wrestling fans of all, I guess you could say denominations: WWE fans, AEW fans, fans of both, fans of indie wrestling, fans of New Japan, Stardom fans, people from all around the world. We would love you to join with us. And to do that, you need to subscribe to the YouTube page, like us on Facebook, follow us on X, and we can interact with each other if you join our Discord page. All of those links you can find at junkyardmediagroup.com. But other than that, I will see everybody next Thursday for the NFL draft. Until next time, we will see you on the flip side.